What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It is Kiera, and you already know that when you come to my channel, you're gonna get something that you can leave with, that you can keep forever. So I really want you, going forward, only go where you are valued. There is so much power in knowing your value, for one, but also in going and staying in places that you are valued. Don't stay in situations where you feel like nobody values you. Do not work jobs where you are not valued. Do not shop at stores that you are not valued. Do not be a part of situations or groups or communities where you are not valued, if you can control that. For one, being in situations like that are very draining to your spirit, to your mental, to your emotional self, which then shows in your physical body and your well-being. But mainly because you want to get the most out of your life, right? We want to do the things that we've set out to do. We want to do the things that we have been called to do. We want to do the things that make us happy as well. And I think that we make ourselves miserable, and we spend a lot of time being miserable and upset and sad and confused because we stay in situations where we are not valued, and we do not realize it, for one, or for two, we do realize it, but we do not believe that there's something better for us on the outside of that situation. Just because you're in a situation where you don't feel valued does not mean you do not have value. I have worked many jobs where I have sat in many conference rooms, and I was the only Black person, for one, but the only woman in the room sometimes as well. So imagine being the only Black woman in many conference rooms, and you don't feel valued when you speak up, when you share ideas, when you give your opinion. Only to find out later that the idea that you did come up with, they're finally using, but they're not going to acknowledge the fact that you're the one who shared that with them. A lot of times we expect people to see us when they do not have eyes for us. We expect people to hear us when they do not have ears for us. We expect people to love us when they do not have the heart to love. I have also spent a lot of time trying to get people to understand my point of view, which is a very dead-end conversation to have with someone. The minute you start to speak your mind and tell them how you feel, and they show no signs of willing to even understand, you need to go ahead and exit stage left, because it's not going anywhere. One of the greater things I've learned in life: never explain yourself more than once. But at the end of the day, I want you to remember that, again, just because they don't value you does not mean that you do not have value. Think about, if you were to go and party out in a club somewhere, they're playing club bangers, things like that. They're not playing Kiera Kiki Shear. They're not playing Kirk Franklin in the club. You're not hearing no William Murphy in the club, okay? Because the people in that club, for that time and for that reason, do not value that type of music for what they're trying to do in that moment. Again, there's different seasons, there's times and places for things. You have to understand that just because no one wants to listen to you doesn't mean that what you have to offer is not value. They're not there to listen to that type of story. They're not there to listen to that sound. They're not there to experience Christ in a club. But that does not take away from the gospel artists of the world who have something to offer to the world. That music is very valuable to somebody. That music has changed lives, just like other music has probably changed someone's life. It just depends on who you're talking to. I think that a lot of people are also confused at the fact that, it's very similar to when, like, you're on social media and maybe you're trying to sell, let's say you're trying to sell some body butters on your social media. And then a year later you change your mind and now you want to sell some sunglasses. And then 2 years later down the line, that didn't quite work out. So now you just want to try to sell some candles or something like that. The audience that you have built over that time, they're not going to value the new things that you try to sell, because you built the audience based off of the body butters first. That's what they value. They're going to go out and find body butter somewhere else, because now you're selling something else, and now you don't bring no value to their life anymore, right? Because you've changed what you're trying to put out. That does not mean that there's not a community of people who don't want to buy sunglasses or candles. So again, never get saddened. Don't ever be sad about thinking that somebody does not value you, because there is a space for that. There is space for you. There is room at the table for you. You just got to know whose table, where the table at, how you gonna get there, what time the table open, who all gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? What they about, what they really on. Because if you walk up to a table and everybody looking at you like, what you doing here? You got to know where your gifts are being valued and where you're being honored, sis. For real. Like, that's really truly honestly real. Sometimes I had conversations with people and they say things and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, they don't value anything that I'm saying. They don't value me. They don't value what I'm bringing to the table. They have no idea who I am, what I'm capable of. They don't know the value that I hold. Mainly because they don't know the value that they hold, for one, but that's another story as well. But I'm just saying that it is important that you be intentional about the places you go and the people you deal with. Always, always, always check and verify that they value you, because all you will do is get your energy drained by trying to understand why you're not being treated a certain way, why your items are not selling, why they ain't calling you, why nobody took you on no date, why you ain't hanging out, why you in the house on the weekend and nobody hit your phone up. You know what I'm saying? It's just because you're dealing with people who truly do not value what you bring to the table. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, okay? Go forward being intentional about that, and be quick to judge whether somebody values you or not. You will know. You always know. We just be ignoring the signs sometimes, but I don't want you to ignore the signs anymore. We don't want to be stuck in a cycle of just trying to find our tribe, find our people, find our mate, find our perfect job or community. We don't want to be stuck in that cycle. So figure out who you are, figure out how valuable you are and what you bring to the table, and then act accordingly. Find the spaces that you need to occupy after that, okay? Period. That's it, sis. That's all I got. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell.